Hi, I'm just sharing a few thoughts here now about this Kavanaugh thing, and apparently, it's going to the Senate tomorrow to be voted, and only certain senators are having a copy of this FBI results of their very limited investigations. And there's a few points that need to be raised here on the eve of the discussions and the decisions, the final decisions. And one thing is that, first of all, the fact is that Brett Kavanaugh has a track record of lying on oath prior to this hearing for his nomination as Supreme Court judge. He is known to have lied on oath previously. In previous years, he's lied. I'm not going to go into the details of his lying. I'll leave video links that explain, very outright, blatant lies that he told, quite serious lies as well. So the man is a known perjurer, okay? He's a known perjurer. He has a track record of also wanting to deny justice to black victims of crime, according to Tom Hartman, and again I'll leave you the link. He overturned a decision to award a black family, $250,000 damages, because it was the family of a dentist who were in the car. He was shot by police, okay? I don't know if he was shot dead, I don't know the full story, but I trust Tom Hartman. He isn't a guy who delivers fake news, okay? So he's explained that Kavanaugh overturned the compensation award that was given to a black family after the husband, had been shot by police. He was a dentist, shot by police after being stopped for something to do with his tail light or something like this, some minor traffic indiscretion, and he ended up being shot in his car by police. But Kavanaugh overturned their compensation. No, you can't have $250,000 compensation. Family who've been targeted and shot for a minor traffic offence. Okay, he does want to ban abortion. He wants to make it a criminal offence. He also wants to even prohibit contraceptions, certain contraceptions as well. We know the guy's a misogynist just from the track record, just of what his friends have said about him, and female colleagues have described him. He is somebody who sees women as there for primarily his pleasure. He is a privileged white male who's hanging around with far-right extremists. President Trump is a far-right extremist himself, actually a self-confessed sex offender, President Trump, and yet still President Trump has been able to say that the 19 women that have come forward to say that he sexually assaulted and attacked them in the past, they're all lying, and this is from a man who has admitted bragging about his sex offences. And so here we are with his choice of judge, and what do we find? We find, well, a privileged thug, basically. That is what he is. And he has a track record of lying. So, on the other hand, we have Dr. Blasey Ford, who does not have a track record of lying. She's not hoping to be Supreme Court judge. She's not got a track record of wanting to deny freedoms and rights to women, or actually denying justice to black people, black family victims of police crime. Okay, she has not got a track record of lying on oath while in office for the purpose of furthering her career. So if this was a court of law, bearing in mind that both witnesses are from the similar social backgrounds, okay? They're both Caucasian. So, in a court of law, who is going to have the most credibility here? The known perjurer, okay, or the victim survivor? The alleged victim survivor. So actually, sorry Mr. Kavanaugh, your testimony, as you will know as a judge, your testimony counts for nothing, okay, because you're a liar. You're a known liar. So therefore, whatever you say is taken really with a pinch of salt. It's taken with doubt, because we know that you're a liar, and we know that there's a lot at stake here for you, because we're talking about you becoming Supreme Court judge, entering a lifetime office and having immense powers. And on the other hand, Dr. Blasey Ford, she would have remained silent. She would have lived with her suffering, but she's come forward because it is a step too far, making such an individual as yourself, who cannot even admit to and repent of the crimes of your youth. You haven't even got the courage to face up to what you were, to apologise, to say, yes, I did do these things. I'm really sorry if I did that to you, Dr. Blasey Ford. I was drinking a lot at the time. In fact, I think I look back on those years and I was actually crazy. You know, we could have even had some sort of proof there that you are a human being, that we can actually show you the respect that is due to a Supreme Court judge. Now, also on Dr. Blasey Ford's side are other witnesses who've come forward to corroborate, support what she's saying about the way that Mr. Kavanaugh was at the time that he attacked her, that he was drinking a lot, that he had this really horrible attitude towards females, saw them as a bit of fun, pleasure, and his attitude to Dr. Blasey Ford was that he treated her like prey. And that is what so disturbed her. Even after all these years, she said to the court, to the Senate, that, you know, the absolute worst thing was to hear Mr. Kavanaugh and his friend Mark Judge laughing, both of them laughing at her pain, at her expense. They thought it was funny, and that is what is so shocking. You see, that is what would have been so shocking to her as a 15-year-old girl, with these guys who she thinks are her friends. She's gone to hang out with them, have a beer, you know, like young people do, and it turns out that no, we are not your friends. You are a piece of meat. You prey. We've got you in here, and we're going to do what we're going to have a bit of fun with you now. Okay, we're going to have our fun with you. We don't care about you as a person, as an individual, as a human being. You are actually just a sex object. You know, really, she might as well have been some sort of blow-up doll, okay? Because that's the way they treated her. And that is what is so disturbing to a lot of young women, or any woman really, is, you know, when somebody you know, and it is usually people that the women know who commit these sexual assaults, people they're working with, even family members, okay, and they do feel like there's nowhere to go. If she'd have spoken out then, it would have been all round the school. She was only 15 years old. She would have felt ashamed, embarrassed, perhaps blaming herself, thinking, yeah, I shouldn't have gone to that party. What was I doing? You know, but young people, that's why they're young people, you know, they're not experienced. She trusted Mark Kavanaugh and his friend as friends. She trusted them. She did not expect to be worried for her life and to be, you know, their plaything for the evening, for them to have their bit of fun. okay? And that is what is so disturbing, to put somebody like that, who obviously hasn't changed his mind about women, because now he wants to use powers as a Supreme Court judge to take legal control of women's bodies and force them to have children they don't want to have, you know. And even to restrict contraception. So now it's even more dangerous, because he's spoken out here and decided that Dr. Ford's testimony and this whole hearing actually is all some sort of conspiracy from the so-called left, okay? It is all a conspiracy. So now there's a risk that he will get it, you know, once he's made judge, he will abuse his powers to discriminate against people that he considers on the left, to discriminate against victims of sexual assault, whether they be male or female, okay? And obviously against black people, which he has already done, you know, with his previous judgments. So this is really, this whole thing now, people do not seem to understand what is going on. This is not a trial. This is not a trial. This is a hearing that we're supposed to establish the suitability of Kavanaugh to become Supreme Court judge. All the evidence thus far says no, okay? His manner of defence, the way that he presented himself at this hearing, absolutely despicable for a Supreme Court judge. He's arrogant, he's conceited. You know, you're dealing here with a guy who's got away with doing whatever he likes most of his life, and he's never had to give an account to anybody, and when he has, he's been able to get away with just blatantly lying. Now, looking at President Clinton, who was impeached for lying, for saying he did not have sex with that woman, and the evidence was brought forward, the blue dress, yes, he did have sex with that woman. Sorry, you're not allowed to be a president, you've lied on oath, you've got to go. Okay, so the people's choice, a democratically voted president, okay, has to leave the White House because he lied about having sex with a woman. And then here we have Brett Kavanaugh repeatedly lying throughout his career, and we're supposed to take his word for it now, that actually no, it's Dr. Blasey Ford who's lying, or she's mistaken. She's mistaken. It's a case of mistaken identity. Well, Dr. Blasey Ford says no. 100% I can say with certainty that it was Mr. Kavanaugh and his friend Mark Judge. Okay. Now, I'm sorry, Mr. Kavanaugh, but as you know, as a judge, okay, your friends and family who are standing round you saying, oh, he's a lovely man, they don't count for nothing, because they're your friends and family who will lie for you. But as it seems not on oath, because even your friend Mark Judge didn't want to attend the hearing and state on oath that no, I wasn't there. He hasn't said that. Your friend has not said, no, this did not happen, I was not there. Right? He has not said that. He said, I don't remember. And that's what all your other supporters from those days at your high school have all said the same. Oh, we can't really remember, you know, it was so long back, can't really remember what he was like, can't really remember the party. So, I'm sorry, what you've got on your side, Mr. Kavanaugh, is hearsay, and you're a known perjurer. You're a person who's regularly broken the oath. You've lied on oath. So we don't trust you. We don't trust you. Dr. Blasey Ford, on the other hand, has shown great courage in trying to protect the people of her nation by coming forward. And also, she has medical evidence. Now, a lot of people would say, oh, well, the therapy report, that isn't medical evidence. You can't count that as evidence just because she told the therapist in 2012 or whenever about what had happened to her. You can't count that as evidence. Well, I'm sorry. It is high time that this world started taking emotional and psychological damages as seriously as you take physical damages, right? Because if a medical doctor had come forward and said, yes, she's got physical damages in keeping with these allegations, then, oh, that's really serious. Well, we've got a professional therapist who's come forward and said, yes, this lady has sustained emotional and psychological injuries that are with her to this very day, in keeping, consistent with her allegations that actually she fully disclosed to her therapist years ago. I'm sorry, that's evidence. That's solid evidence. And like I say, it's high time that this world now started accepting that human beings are not just flesh and blood, a physical body. We are a host to a consciousness, a spirit, thoughts, emotions, feelings, and they do get injured, and it does cause serious problems in people's lives. Poverty itself, imposing poverty on people, causes emotional and psychological damages. It totally debilitates people's sense of self-respect and dignity and self-worth. And children are being raised in that level of consciousness. No, 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 no. And you, Mr. Kavanaugh, you're on the side of the psychopaths, the narcissist psychopaths. They have no emotion, they have no compassion, no feeling. They are literally monsters, because we're talking about toddler brains in adult bodies, which is a monster. So there is solid evidence to support Dr. Ford's testimony by way of a medical evidence, professional therapist evidence. That is evidence. Alright, the lie detector test, oh, they don't count, blah blah blah. Say what you like. Well, you do a lie detector test then, Mr. Kavanaugh. Why don't you do a lie detector test? This lady, she's done a lie detector test, she's got the therapeutic evidence, she's got also witness testimony supporting her version of events, and also her description of the type of character that you were, Mr. Kavanaugh. So I am very sorry, but you are not fit to be a Supreme Court judge, because the oath of office, the oath, the sworn oath, is fundamental to the processes of any court, okay? And especially the Supreme Court. That people, we trust what people say on oath when they swear that oath, that yes, I shall tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth, okay? That is fundamental. That is a fundamental foundation of the integrity of the court, that the court ascertains the truth. So to all these senators, American senators, most of them on the Republican side, who are planning to vote for Mr. Kavanaugh, please do understand that if you cast a vote for this man, who is a known perjurer, you are all guilty of committing treason. You are all complicit in an act of treason to place this man as Supreme Court judge, because you know that there is indisputable evidence that this man in the past, in previous years, has lied on oath. And he's lying on oath again. He's lied on oath again. This time to defend himself from very serious allegations. And he's shown that he's got no honour, he's got no integrity. He has not grown up from when he was 17. So for you senators to knowingly put this man as Supreme Court judge, then I'm sorry, you are guilty of treason. And really, you know, the same goes for the voting public of America that's put Trump in office after the man admitted to sexually assaulting numerous women and even violating the privacy of young teenage girls in a beauty pageant by walking into their dressing room and actually bragging about it. And imagine how it felt for those young women to be hearing Trump's the recording of Trump bragging about, oh, how beautiful they all were. They were all naked when he walked in, and how lovely they were. Oh, you should have seen them. How disgusting. And you've made him president. You see? And again, he's lied. President Trump has lied. Oh no, he didn't pay Stormy Daniels off. No, he never had an affair with Stormy Daniels. No, he didn't pay her off. No, he didn't know nothing about it. Now we know that he's lying. Impeach him then. Impeach him. So what is going on? What is going on? So what is being shown to America here now is that actually the Democrats are no opposition whatsoever. They are a limp blanket, aren't they? Because they've got no power whatsoever. Because apparently the Republicans, President Clinton lies, oh, he's immediately impeached. They're not happy with the choice of Supreme Court judge or whatever. Oh, they can delay things for 14 months. Over nothing. Over nothing. 14 months. But now, when it comes to them, their president, the Republican president, lie, 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 lie. Sex offences, self-confession, the accuser's there, 19 women, and he's not being impeached. And why? Why haven't the Democrats insisted on it? Like the Republicans did. The Republicans got Clinton impeached. So where's the impeachment for Trump then? Why hasn't he been impeached? Because there is no opposition, America. There is no opposition. There's a wishy-washy wet blanket to throw over you every time things really start getting bad. And it's like, oh, okay, then, you know, they look like they might be starting insurrection. We've still got a few more powers to rob off them. We're not quite ready to impose our police state yet. You know, we need things tidying up a bit. We need to rob them of a few more of the rights and powers. So, you know, let's get Mr. Kavanaugh in, yes man, to the corporation. Because this is a corporate coup. It really is. And when you've got senators who are supporting, Republican senators are supporting a self-confessed sex offender as president, which is bad enough. None of them have stood up to impeach him for his known lies. And now they're all trying to push this Kavanaugh as Supreme Court judge. I mean, really, why is he even a judge when he's known to have lied on oath? Why didn't the Democrats get him removed as judge when it's known that he's lied on oath? So what are you doing, Democrats? You're not standing up for the people. You're no opposition. You're a wet blanket. And actually, it is disgusting. It's disgusting to witness the wishy-washiness of all of you. And that it has taken Dr. Blasey Ford to come forward to actually, you know, seriously challenge this man's nomination. Because you, Democrats, failed. And she should not have had to come forward, right? She could have kept her pain and got over it her own way. Okay, which, as she said, she's still dealing with it today. It has damaged her. It has affected, impacted on her life to this day. Her family have been impacted by it. To this day, it's took her to come forward. Shame on you, Democrats. Shame on you. When you watched your President Clinton being impeached for lying about his sexual things with, what was her name, Monica Lewinsky. You saw him, you saw the process, what happened, and yet you people, you have not stood up and demanded impeachment for President Trump now for all the lies that he's told. And you did not get Brett Kavanaugh impeached, or even, so for his known lies, you didn't do it. You are asleep on the job, you Democrats, and you are a risk to the nation. And you know, that is why I fully support Jesse Ventura standing for 2020 presidency for America. He's true presidential. He is a truly presidential figure who will stand up for what's right. Because it isn't about which political party people support. Between the narcissist Republican and the covert narcissist, wolves in sheepskin, Democrats. I know, let's face it, any human that appears among them. Bernie Sanders, you know, oh no, 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 we're going to have to stamp him out. Stamp his, oh, too far left. Oh, you know, we're bordering on communism. I'm sorry. America, you are a fascist nation right now, you fascists. And while all this is going on, Yemen, the children of Yemen are starving and being bombed with American bombs and America's support. And this is disgusting. It's despicable, the whole circus. And this is a coup. It's a coup to get their man as Supreme Court judge for life, and he will undermine every single presidency in the future, and that is why it is important now. No, this is an act of treason. I tell you now, all you senators that are going to cast a yes vote for this guy, you are treasonous. You are committing treason because you know that he's a liar. It is on record that he's a liar, and his testimony don't count for jack shite, okay? Because he's a known liar. And in comparison, Dr. Ford, she is not a known liar. She's an honest woman. She's got a track record of being honest. An unassuming person, not a power seeker, not somebody who hates men or tries to deny men's autonomy. Okay, yes, she does deny that men have a right to just treat her like a toy or an animal. Which even, you know, myself as a vegan wouldn't even hurt an animal, never mind a human being. And this is it, you see. You've got a guy here who's got no respect for his fellow humanity. He is a discriminatory person. He discriminates about who he can respect and who he doesn't respect. So he doesn't respect people he considers left. He doesn't respect women. Obviously doesn't really even respect black people, because, you know, he has to overturn the compensation that was awarded to a family who were a victim of police crime. Because why does a black dentist end up being shot by police over a pissing traffic offence? And there must have been some serious evidence there, because why would a court then award that family $250,000 and then the police appeal to their beloved friend, Mr. Kavanaugh, and he overturns it? It is outrageous. The whole thing is outrageous. And hearing President Trump, the way he was going on about, again, he told a pack of lies about Dr. Ford. She didn't know where it was. She didn't know what date it was. She didn't know this. She didn't know that. No, I had a beer. I had a beer. You liar! You liar! Fake news, President Trump, aren't you? Fake news. You fake from top to bottom. And all I can say, you know, as I've said previously, America's elite, so-called, you have lost sight of your feet. And as I say, when the ground you're walking on becomes unstable, which it will, if you commit treason now, it's a long way down. And those who are at the highest are going to fall the hardest, because that's the way gravity works. Okay, you know, gravity, that apparently on 9/11, you know, the laws of physics took a day off, according to your fake news. Okay, the fake news of Democrats and Republicans who supported that fake story about 9/11. Because, sorry, no, the laws of physics do not take a day off. And the laws of physics dispute your so-called official story. Again, lies, 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 lies. We're dealing with a corporate coup. And this is evidence of it. And this man, with his righteous indignation, what is he indignated about? Like I say, how dare anybody question me? I can do what I like. I'm a privileged white male. I went to Yale. I'm a judge. How dare you? I should just be given power because I'm the man. And they're talking about witch hunts. Witch hunts. After centuries, women being, yes, they weren't they, persecuted women, innocent women, burnt at the bloody stake, had all kinds of terrible things done to them. These same consciousness that did that to women, the same consciousness, the same antiquated consciousness that would accuse women of being witches and punish them so cruelly, okay? Innocent women. The same consciousness. And now today, when they get confronted with their real crimes, oh, witch hunt, they cry. Well, maybe the tables are turning. And I'll tell you now, God help America if this guy does get in. And I tell you, you have a duty, American citizens. Revolt against the revolting. That's what your Constitution demands. And this is an act of treason if they put a known perjurer as Supreme Court judge. Seriously, it is. And it is grounds for revolt. Because you're dealing with absolute tyranny from the top to the very bottom. And there's no hope for you. There's no hope for you, America, because obviously these corporate bodies, they're not human, are they? Okay? They don't deal with conscience and emotion and feelings and compassion. That can all be cut out. That isn't part of humanity according to them. We're all just, you know, flesh and bones to them. Okay? Skull and Bones Club, isn't it? That's all they live by. I'm sorry. It is time to wake up. It's time to get real. It's time to get lawful. And as I say, you Democrats, pull your finger out for goodness sake. Get on board. Stand up for the people who voted for you. Stand up for their rights and protect your nation.